Hi, friend. Welcome to the Becoming podcast. This has taken us forever to be here, but finally, we are here. This is the space where we hold wholesome conversations that empower us to become the best versions of ourselves. And we intend to do this one conversation at a time. I once read a book by a lady, her name is Lisa Takast, and she said, the main reason why relationships end or the main reason why relationships fail is not because of the conversations that were held, but because of the conversations that were not held. Not because of the questions that were asked, but because of the questions that were not asked. And that is why now this space gives you and I an opportunity to talk about everything that can be discussed in this journey of becoming. Before we go further, my name is Grace Maina. It is a privilege to be your host. It is a privilege to be part of this conversation. And my desire for you and I is that we will get to grow together, we will get to learn together, and we will enjoy each other's company. Ama namna gani? That's how we say it here in Kenya. Yeah, so you may be wondering what is becoming? Where is it coming from? Where is this line even? Actually, I like calling it #becoming. So becoming really is becoming. Yeah, it's transformation, daily transformation, progressively being transformed into the image of God. I am born again. I believe in Christ. I believe in salvation. I believe in God. And I believe that God created me to become the best version of myself. And there is an image he had in his mind. We have heard over and over and over again that we are created in the image and the likeness of God. And that is why in 2 Corinthians chapter 3 verse 18 says, we are continuously, as we behold him, we are continuously being transformed into his image. And that is the whole concept of becoming. So we are here, as I have already mentioned, for us to ask ourselves, how can we get better? How can we get better in our individual lives? How can we get better in how we handle our finances? How can we move forward to become that version that God created us to be? You may be asking yourself, how was this becoming concept even birthed? So I am part of a book club that's called the Becoming Community that was started in 2020. So we were just a group of girls, and I was in campus then, so schools closed, and I was part of the CU. And there's a book we were reading that year. It's called The Proverbs 31 Woman. We were reading it then. So we were wondering, how are we going to finish reading this book? So we put together a WhatsApp group and we read that book and we finished, and we had a list where we'd write our names like that. And so we finished the first book, we went to the second book, the third book. I can't tell you how many we have read. For instance, this year, and we are shooting this in November, we are in our 9th book. So that is how this whole concept of becoming was birthed, because we realized through conversations, through learnings, through reading different books, we are able to have a mental picture, we are able to have an image, we are able to have an understanding of how much more of ourselves can we really exercise, how much more of ourselves can we push, how much more of ourselves can we work harder on or work smarter on and become better at life. Because honestly, who wants to live life in the worst possible state? We all want better living. We all want better education. We all want better daily. And so that's how this whole concept of becoming was birthed. And as I've already said, it is all about transformation. It is all about daily progress. It is not a self-help, self-help groups or self-help. No, it is a transformational journey that can only be guided, inspired, directed by God himself. But you and I are active participants, and I'll show you how towards the end of this whole. So we have defined becoming as a process of transformation. We are not after perfection, guys. Yes, let that one sink. We are not after perfection. I'm not here to tell you to be perfect. No, I'm here to tell you, imagine embrace your journey of becoming. Imagine embrace your small steps. Imagine be willing to start kidogo all the way to the end. Be willing to start and be willing to progress. And that's why probably the title of this podcast, of this episode today, is just start. Because that is where we all end up. We don't start. We know we've been called to be good at something. We know there is a gift that we have. We know there is potential inside of us. But what do we do with it? We don't start. We fear beginnings. Let me tell you, I can't tell you how long it has taken us to even shoot this one episode. It has been battling fear, battling confidence, asking myself, am I even ready for this thing? Do I even have something to tell people? And battling with so many questions. But this week, in one of the morning devotions that again is organized separately, I'll tell you about it some other time. We've been learning a lesson on how do you know God. And one of the people we've been studying in the Bible is Abraham. And to know God, from the example of Abraham, you must simply trust and obey. So when we were learning about Abraham, and for you to know God, you must simply trust and obey, we challenged one another and asked each other, what area of your life is God simply asking you to trust and obey? Guess what God told me? Guess what was imprinted in my spirit? It was like a question, Grace, when are you going to shoot this podcast? You've been telling people for a long while it's coming. You should have done it this far already. And that's when I was like, camera, lights, action, let's shoot. Let's just get started. Let's get past the starting point, because that is all that God requires of us, really. Be it in school, be it in family, be it in you as an individual. And I am so passionate about us working on ourselves as individuals. You may need to take you need to go for therapy. You need to take an additional course. You need to start being kind to people because you haven't been kind. There is something you need to do, but you are stuck at that place of, do I not? Do I not? I'm here to tell you, just start. Just start. The conditions may not be the most favorable, but as long as God has put an idea in your mind, as long as it has been imprinted in your spirits, that's it. That's all you need. Yes, I'm not saying we be careless. I'm not saying we be reckless. I'm not saying that we just now start being chaotic everywhere and anywhere. But if God has told you it's time to move out, it's time to move out. If God has told you it's time to run, even if no one else is running with you, you have to run. But even as we start, one thing you and I need to accept: growth takes time. It really takes time. It is not instant. It is not spontaneous. It is not at the twinkle of an eye, at the snap of the finger that growth happens. It's going to take seasons. It's going to take us through not easy moments. It's going to be difficult. We may have to strain on some issues. There is the whole fear of, I don't know if I'm doing this right, yes or no. But it's going to take us through different seasons. And imagine all of them, God has lined them such that there's a big picture that God sees. And that big picture, He will ensure it has become exactly how He wants it to be. But you and I are involved in the process. And that is where we have to take the first step. So even as we start, something just that we should have top of our minds: growth is going to take time, and it's going to take us through different seasons. But those seasons are meant to prepare us. They are meant, ni kama ladder. You move from one level to another. This season prepares you for the rest, and for the rest, and for the rest. One of the situations in my life that I didn't know was preparing me for where I am right now is high school. And I was in high school some good years back, and I thought I was just in school to read, to learn, get my good grades, and go home. But right now, with the benefit of hindsight, when I look back, I realize a lot of my becoming journey was formed back then because of the disciplines that I picked, because of the friendships that I made, because of the interactions that I learned. Imagine back in high school, and I'm telling you, there are a good number of years back, it was a season that may have looked like nothing else is happening other than books. But in real essence, God was forming me. He was taking me through a transformational journey. He was transforming my thinking. He was transforming my understanding. He was transforming how I relate with people. And I'm only seeing it now. So for you, in whatever, with the benefit of hindsight or without, even where you are right now, what is that thing? What is that situation? Where are you right now? And probably you don't even see the meaning. You don't even understand why you are where you are. But probably that is the environment that God is using to form the person that you need to be in a few days, in a few years. And becoming does not ignore any level. Hey, the reason why I love this concept of #becoming, well, I really love saying it that way, is because every day is a chance. As long as you have woken up, every hour you are alive. As long as there is breath in your lungs, it is a chance for you to become. It is part of the becoming journey. Hakuna phase tuna block out and we say, I don't need that phase of my life, or no. Every phase, even if it is painful, even if it is a happy moment, it is part of your whole becoming journey. Don't ignore it. Don't shelve it. Don't grow bitter or regret some seasons of your life. Imagine God is able to use them. They are part of the becoming package. And that's why I'm telling you, I love it, because every day is an opportunity. You may not have done so well yesterday, but you can do better today. You may have been very poor with your finances, and I can't wait for us to discuss them. But you can do better today. You may have done so poorly in your relationships. You can do better today. And that is the whole concept of becoming. Hakuna kitu ingine out of that. It is not complicated. It is not complex. It is simply becoming. So I have said that growth is going to take time. And so you and I need to be patient. Are we together? We need to be patient. We need to be patient to see this channel grow. We need to be patient to see our careers become what we aimed for them to be. We need to be patient to see our families become what God called them to be. Don't give up while on it. Don't get to that place and say, sioni mazao. Hapana, usikate tamaa mapema. Well, kuna situations in part of becoming journey, you will realize hapa kusema ukweli labda we started the wrong things. But remember what I have said. Even that experience that you may have had that was not the very best, God can still use it. And because we'll have so many opportunities to discuss so many other things about becoming, I want us to wrap it up there. But before we do that, I said becoming requires active participation. You and I are active participants. Imagine no one can become on your behalf. You and I need to do it. It is going to take us work. It is going to take us intentionality. It is going to take us purpose. We are going to invest ourselves. And that's why I have my notebook and my pen, because we have a homework. We have a reflection question. We have something to think and ask ourselves, because remember, becoming is an active process. Becoming, it's a verb, so it's a doing thing. It is an active process. And I want to leave you with a question. And that question is, what part of your life is God currently shaping right now? I want you to sit and ask yourself, what part of your life is God currently shaping right now? When you look around, what part of your life is God working on? You may be feeling, it does not necessarily mean it has a lot of activity in that area. It might be God is working on your patience because you're in a waiting season. It might be God is working on your finances. He is ensuring and helping you learn how to manage your money well. Well, the money may not be in your pocket, but you're picking the lessons now. So what part of your life is God currently shaping? You can put it in the comment section, but before you do that, please make sure you have journaled it. Please make sure you have written it. Please make sure you have track of it, so that as we go back, we will come back to look back and see where were we on such and such a date and where are we now. Because again, because it is a journey, we need to track the progress. We need to know how we are doing. That's it from me today. I hope you have gotten the gist of what is happening here. I hope to see you more often. I hope you come back again and again and again, because in this environment, we are going to cover so many things. I look forward to us covering matters social life, matters relationships, matters finances, matters education, matters career, matters so many things that pertain towards a balanced life. I'll talk to you soon about the balanced wheel of life, and that is what inspires everything that we do. For now, it's Kwaheri from our side. Keep becoming. We are on a journey of becoming everything God called us to be, and we ain't leaving anybody behind. See you in the next one.